Why are so many men driven by fear, anxiety, and not even know why or where it comes from? As I'm learning these things, I reflect back on what has got me to do what I'm doing. Okay, and it happened again. It's happened quite a few times since I moved my family from one side of the world to the other, and living in the middle of the Mediterranean on an epic island. The amount of people have said to me, "Gav, I'd love to do what you're doing, but I'm too scared." That's the bottom line. Fear, not having all their ducks lined up. I'm going to share something with you that I used to do all the time to get myself in the right state of mind before I would go up against a challenge like a fight, a boxing match, And this, I actually used to watch this movie every time before I'd fight. It's called Braveheart. An amazing, triumphant story, in Scotland. And there's that speech where William Wallace has there, and he's talked all these countrymen in, and this is what to actually given their life for something, to give their life for something. And I think when a man understands what he's giving his life for and to, there's a different presence about him. His tone and his voice is different. His posture's different. And as I said, I'm going to read it to you. I love it. Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live at least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now. Would you be willing to trade all those days from this day to that to go back and tell your enemy, you may take our lives, but you'll never take our freedom? And I used to watch that on repeat. And what it would do would actually get me to put things in perspective. Why am I fighting? Why am I starting businesses? Why am I having these difficult conversations? Why am I getting out of bed and going full tilt into what I'm doing? Because every man, this is what William says, every man is going to die, but not every man will really live. And I've got to tell you, gentlemen, you've got to give yourself a poke in the chest. Are you living or are you waiting to die? Are you endeavoring to make it safely to death? And quite often men would say to me, when I would run that boxing program, Fight Like a Pro, for men that had never had a boxing match, they'd say, I'd love to do that, but I could never get angry. I could never get myself angry enough to want to fight, to want to punch somebody, to have it's not about that. You've missed the point. William Wallace, those men who go to battle, they're not fighting for themselves. They're fighting for a cause, something bigger than them. And when you understand why you're getting out of bed, what you're actually fighting for, it's a different ball game. Like people say to me, I'm too scared to follow their dream. I'm too scared to take action on my purpose. They just don't have a clear picture of what they're fighting for. You need to overcome certain things inside you to then for it to actually materialize. So really, gentlemen, I would say, and this is what I want to talk about, is your opponent, your enemy. You're not fighting him. You're fighting the guy on the inside. That's the guy. You either compete or you create. And really, when you're creating something inside of you that is an overcomer, that is a world changer, that is more than a conqueror, man, that is the fight. That is the masculine journey in a nutshell. You find your purpose, that mission, that thing that's worth giving your life to, and then you become that man who overcomes that thing. You become bigger than the fight. You become bigger than the situation, than the problem. And so this is a great passage out of that film Braveheart, because it puts things in perspective. You are gonna die. And in your deathbed, how are you gonna be? People say, oh, I've missed the boat. I'm too old. The truth is, you're never going to be this young again. You're never going to this day right now. You're never going to be this young again. So if not now, kind of when? And I would say this is probably what people are saying when they say, "Oh, I've missed the boat," or "I'm too old," or I don't really know, what my purpose is. Or I really don't know what I'm fighting for, or what if I get hurt? Well, they just don't understand see, there's a rite of passage. There's a road that you run on in our Man Alive Experience mentorship. In our 5-day man challenge. There's a process. It comes to developing you, to developing yourself. There's a process. What you're really saying is, man, I haven't got a clear enough vision, and I don't know how to do it. Bottom line, that's what it comes down to. But this is the thing. This is the thing I want you to think about. We are up against an opponent. We are up against an enemy. So we've established, all right, you got to know, I need to grow, I need to develop myself. Talk about boxing, the longer you fight, the harder it gets. That's the bottom line, because the better the opponents are, but the better you need to become. So that's kind of what it is. Your opponent will make you better. Your enemy will actually make you a better fighter, a better man. Whatever your opponent is, if you don't choose that, you're always going to be on the ropes, and you're going to be at the mercy to this world throwing rubbish at you, and you're going to be making excuses why you're not fighting back. So, gentlemen, go through that speech again and again, whatever it takes. Be a man today and step up. Your family, the people who love you, they will benefit for the rest of their lives. So I don't know where you're at or on your masculine journey, or what you're getting out of this story, this video today, but man, do something. Do something. This masculine journey is not about getting everything right before you start. You've already started. You're already in the fight. So gentlemen, do something. Check out the link below, and if that's of value, take the next step. Just do the next right thing. And maybe I hope to see you one day in person. Over and out.